Come on, who wasn't expecting it? I've talked about this game several times now. I was bound to do a video of it at some point. Regardless of such, let's get our boxing gloves ready and review Punch-Out for the Wii. I have a weird history with Punch-Out. I never grew up with the franchise, and I only recently picked up the Wii game for a very low price. Funnily enough, this happened with SA2 as well. Both came with cheap CD cases, but oh well, it's not the end of the world. The games are perfectly functionable, so it doesn't matter. And also, just a month ago, I downloaded the original game on the NES Virtual Console. I have known about Punch-Out for years now, but until now, I haven't thought much of it. It wasn't until Derek from GameXplain did a few live streams of the Wii game that it started to catch my interest. Now, after watching several videos of the game, I decided to try it out for myself. How is it? Perfect! End of the review. Bye. Nah, not really. This wouldn't be a review if I ended it there. The story is really as basic as you can get. Little Mac has been training with Doc Louis in order to get back into the ring and become the greatest boxer of all time. Nothing more to it, though I will say the characters are freaking brilliant. You may remember in the original Punch-Out, characters were very stereotypical and didn't really have a personality. In Wii, however, that's a thing of the past. The characters may still seem stereotypical, but next level games use that to their advantage and make characters that are oozing with personality. And you can definitely tell that they had a lot of fun creating them. There are only 2 new boxes in this game, 3 if you count the Club Nintendo award, and only one of those is in the main career. The other you don't see until post-game. You might be confused about the Club Nintendo award I mentioned. Well, all the way back in 2009 when the game came out, if you registered your copy of Punch-Out for the Wii, you got Doc Louis's Punch-Out. This is impossible to get now, at least to my knowledge, so I suggest just watching a video or 2 of it. You're not missing too much. It basically takes place before the actual game, with Doc training Mac for his career. During the main game, after each round you receive a tip from Doc. These tell you somewhat of how to handle an opponent. Or he'll just talk about chocolate. Speaking of which, if you press minus on the Wii remote during an intermission, Doc will eat a chocolate bar, which replenishes a good chunk of your health. However, you can't use this more than once in a match. How Doc eating chocolate refills Mac's health bar? I have no idea. Nintendo logic at its finest. There are 3 circuits in this game. The first 2 have 4 opponents, while the last has 5. The difficulty finds a really good balance. The game gradually gets more difficult as you go through, instead of having a random difficulty spike for no reason. This should not be seen as a boxing game, but more of a puzzle game. Unlike any other boxing game, you have to learn your opponent's pattern, learning when to counter and dodge. There are times when you might feel overwhelmed, but once you learn that pattern, it feels so good to finally take them down. If you manage to hit a boxer at the right time, usually when they change colour, you'll earn a Star Punch. If you played Punch-Out on the NES, you'd know you could only use 1 Star Punch at a time. In this game though, the strength of your Star Punch depends on how many of them you have. Like the original, you can only hold 3, and just getting hit causes you to lose them, so try not to be too reckless. Once you beat Mr. Sandman, no, not that Sandman, you'll be introduced to Titled Events mode. This has you go up against all the fighters in the game again. However, this time they have some new tricks up their sleeves, so you might want to find different strategies this time around. This second quest, if you will, is a very good way of lengthening the game in my opinion. In most other games, having rehashes would usually be an annoyance, but here, it feels like they are completely different than before. Can I also just gush about the music in this game for a bit? It does an excellent job at pumping you up, and keeps you going no matter how much you fail. The minor circuit is easily the best track in the game. Take a listen to the NES version. And now listen to the Wii version. Each boxer has their own variation of the main theme, and the renditions they made are just glorious. Take a listen. Each circuit has its own theme too, and while they aren't as good as the original, they are still great to listen to. After you beat Title Defense mode, you gain access to Max Last Stand. Here, the game randomly selects your opponent from Title Defense mode, and you have 3 chances. If you are knocked out 3 times, the game is over and Mac retires. However, if you beat up to 8 opponents or so, you unlock Champions mode. To activate it, go to Exhibition and select a boxer, then select the tick box. This will make it so every attack in the game will knock you out no matter how weak it is, and the game no longer gives you signals or warnings for attacks. The game really expects you to master all the strategies for this mode. Also, remember I said there was a boxer during the post-game? Well, sometimes in Max Last Stand, you will go up against the one and only Donkey Kong. DK is easily the hardest opponent you go up against. He's very unorthodox, constantly taunting you and being unpredictable. I've only beaten DK once, and I can't even imagine beating him on Champions mode. There are other things you can do outside of the main game as well. Like I said, there's an exhibition mode, and you can just face your favourite boxers again if you want to. However, if you want more challenge, there are 3 challenges to do for each opponent, including DK. These can get really tough sometimes, but they never feel unfair. It gives you more of a reason to go back to the game, even though just refighting opponents is already good enough for me, but I digress. Once you do all 3 challenges for an opponent, you unlock their music track, as well as their voice clips and grunts. There's even a 2-player versus mode where both players are Little Mac, and you face off to see who's the better player. Unfortunately, I couldn't get footage of it, but try playing it with a friend. It's actually pretty fun. Overall, Punch-Out Wii is a fantastic game and easily the best game in the series. There's so much more to do in this game than in the others, and it can be really hard to put down. I can't recommend this game enough. Please, if you haven't already, give this game a shot. You might end up really liking it, though you can't please everybody. Whew, I think that's enough boxing for one day, so I think it's time for us to relax and go to a peaceful world of yarn. And I realise how cheesy that sounds. Anyways, I'll see you guys then. Peace out. Before I forget, I'll try to get this next review out sooner than I did with this Punch-Out Wii review. I know I've been having quite a few delays with reviews and stuff, but hopefully from now on I'll be able to get them more out on a consistent basis. We'll see how things turn out, but hopefully you won't have to wait as long as you did for this one. But anyways, see you guys for Kirby's Epic Yarn.